What is up? It's AboveUp, and this is a Beyond Dead episode of Flinthook. I think a few people were actually looking forward to me playing this game, which usually means one of two things. Either the person really likes the game, or they fucking hate everything about it. So let's actually take a look at this game. And yes, I am playing keyboard and mouse, because controller is awful, if I have to be quick about it. So yeah, this is a side-scrolling platforming roguelite. We're going to have to do 2 stages to really demonstrate something that I want to talk about. Just a heads up, so we're gonna do this guy, and then this dweeb over here. And it should show something about the game design. And here's another thing about the game design. Speaking about that, we're just going to get right into it. Playing the game, you get booster packs. Booster packs give you random upgrades that costs points to implement and equip. Yeah. God, I despise this deeply. I don't like this kind of randomization where you don't have control over your growth. It kind of means that you have to be lucky with what you roll and then what you equip. It's not great. Could be a lot better, but hey, whatever. One thing I do have to say before we get into the rest of it, the sprite work in this game is really fantastic. Just look at this character right over here. This is really nice. Yeah. As you can see, this is now a run. We started our run and we can select a place to go. We can see what the special things about the stages are at the bottom here. So we can go to the Metal Whale, the Iron Head, another Iron Head. This one has a platoon. This one has a library thing. This one is a labyrinth. Let's see, they're all difficulty 1, so we might as well just go to the one with library, I guess. I'm not really seeing anything that demands us to go somewhere special. So yeah, this is a game that exists, and I've avoided it for a long time because I kind of had a feeling about it. And the feeling that I had about it was, oh god, this is another Rogue Legacy. And, well, guess what? It is. It totally is. So first things first, the controls. Right now I am using first-person shooter controls, basically WASD to walk and spacebar to jump. Right mouse lets me use my hook to flint around, and then I also have a gun with a short range. You're probably going to hear my mouse click a lot. It's going to be great. So the way you enter doors, and this is going to be a thing that I'll come back to because I'm going to get frustrated, is you use your hook to go to the door. Which means, oh fuck, and I fell into this immediately because no warning. Yay. Oh, for fuck's sake. Bubble enemies. That's... here we go already. Jesus. I hate this game. This is one of the reasons, and it usually doesn't start this blatantly. Do I have to slow-mo and grapple them? How do I deal with this? Oh, I have to kill this guy. Okay. I thought it was the other type of bubble. This game is really great at telegraphing things and reusing the same stuff to not really say anything at all. It's great. I fucking love that. Yeah, the type of bubble that I thought that was, go away. Fuck's sake, we're just starting like this, huh? Just immediately go into the bullshit. Oh, at least it saves me some time. I was afraid I wouldn't have stuff to complain about, that it just wouldn't show itself on video, but here we go. So yeah, there's another type of bubble in this game. This game doesn't teach you about anything beyond, hey, you can grapple. And that bubble you have to burst with your hook, but those enemies are always going to be near those rings, so you will unintentionally hit the ring because there's a small layer of autocorrect in it, and it will launch you against the enemy. And it's like, great. Absolutely great. Because of that whole situation, I actually thought I was doing it wrong because it kept latching on to the ring instead of the enemy, so I thought the enemy can't be hooked. But then it turned out you actually do have to use the hook. Great. But it's one of the many issues that that are going to keep coming up in this game. A lot of people, they made their first impressions videos and they loved it, and then some of them would continue to make videos, like the Egg himself, Northern Lion. And then they would slowly come to dislike the game a lot. With the Northern Line, you still have that space of, well, maybe he's just really bad at it because he's bad at a lot of games. But usually he doesn't get that frustrated unless the game is actually bad. Other pirates say they're tough, but they can't even eat one book. Yeah, okay. And we get lore. So nothing, basically. Okay. Let's continue. So, I like this song. I don't like this song in every single fucking stage, because that's going to be one of the issues. And I get what the developers are trying to go for here. I am glad I didn't move because I didn't see this spike here, because it blends in so well with the background. Which is another problem that this game has, and it gets even worse as the game goes on. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell it, and I used it. There's a slow motion mode. It exists. And it turns off that barrier thing. Like, now I can just bounce on this. It kind of feels tacked on, if I have to be honest. Like, besides that, it doesn't feel like something that needs to be there in the game. Yeah, there's a lot of things in this game that feels like an outright shame, because I feel like this way of movement, if it was more fine-tuned and had better controls, it would be really great for something with stages that are set in stone. Like a Metroidvania or just a platforming game, instead of an action roguelite that is focused around combat. Like, somehow the combat isn't great enough to focus this entire game around it, and that bothers me a lot. Because I get what they're going for, with the map right there in the corner and having keys and, like, soul hearts, kind of. This is Isaac. This is desperately wanting to be Isaac, and it's not a good fit. I don't know what either of these do, so I'll pick this one. A little bit of gold never gets old. And I still don't know what it does. Oh, great. It's especially now that I'm like on my own, I'm playing Hollow Knight, and that game is a fucking masterpiece. And it's like, man, just think of all the movement options you could have in a Metroidvania exploring around with upgrades for your hook that make you explore even more. That would be so fucking cool, but nope. We're just gonna do the combat thing with this as the standard for everything. It doesn't work. Oh, it's the end of the stage already. Shall I go back and actually get the other stuff? Or shall I just move on? I'll just move on, because we're just doing a video, so I'm not really playing normally as is. Let's open the dumb shell. Now we got this, 2 more to go. This is just a dumb way of saying, look, you have to do 2 more maps before we allow you to go to the boss. It's a really awkwardly structured version of an Isaac dungeon. And I think they could have handled this better. That animation is so good, though. Like, all of the animations are so good, but the sprites are so badly used. It's such a shame. Let's see, there's a warning sign here, there's a gauntlet and big blasts, a rumble room and infestation. I'll just go with the platoon, they sound the least dangerous. Let's go. If it sounds like I'm like excessively shitting on this game, there is a very good reason for this, and my reason is mostly, look at all this fucking polish, look at this flag waving in the background, look at those stars, that parallax background moving there. Look at the sprite work that has gone into everything, and then they can't get the base gameplay to function in a way that is actually enjoyable. Because they have all these cool mechanics that they don't really use properly. There is so much polish, and none of it has gone into the actual play of the game, and that is the frustrating part of Flinthook. That is the reason why so many videos are incredibly positive at first, and then they kind of just stop being positive after a while. And I'm just gonna cut out the middleman, I'm just gonna start at the end of it, where it's like, no, this is shit for these reasons. Well, this is nice at least. Is this what the platoon on board means? That there's just a shit ton of shops? Or is this just me being lucky? Oh yeah, those upgrades are temporary just for this run. They're not persistent. The persistent upgrades you have to... Fuck. How long is this gonna stay? So yeah, you can't really... Well, if you know what you're looking for, you can see this, but it's still kind of hidden in a way that makes it feel like a background object. Especially with those buckets over here, like the foreground, or not the foreground, the background is actually not helping in making this visible at all. And it's something that's going to keep popping up. Like, I've seen stage hazards with normal shit just in view, and it's like, why? Oh look, there's one of those bubble guys. He has that bubble that I have to pop with my hook. Look at how many rings there are around that could make me accidentally hit those instead of the bubble. Like, there's this sort of care needed in the movement of this game that doesn't fit the control type, and it's jarring as hell. Fuck, it makes moving around with the hook, like, not worth it a lot of the time, because you're just gonna get punished. And it's not like Vanquish where you get to feel like a huge badass for doing this stuff, because this just feels like normal movement that is punished. There we go. It's in here. Oh, it's one of those bell things. Like, I appreciate that they put that sand thing over there, that clock, but at the same time, nothing in the visuals is actually showing, like, how far into the countdown it is. So it kind of feels like it's pointless. Not that it needs to be there, because the timing is very concise, but at the same time, like, if it's not going to give a proper visual cue, why bother? Because this is basically just the Mega Man thing. There we go. Oh shit. No! Okay, that's entirely on me. I cannot blame the game for that. That's just me being a fucking idiot and forgetting how many of those there were. Alright, there's nothing in this room. Wow. Boss fight. Okay. Or no, this is not the boss yet. Thought this was the boss room already, because of the size and shape. But there's probably a thing that is like noticeable right now, and that is there's only one background and there's only one song, and it's going to be this for this entire boss run. Like, they only change the backgrounds when you go to a different boss, so every map is going to look and feel like the same map. And you're going to be replaying those maps quite a bit before you've, like, gotten enough points to improve your character and go on to the next thing. I don't want to say it's lazy. Like, I hate people saying that, but at the same time, it's like, it costs almost no effort to have a distinct feeling for these maps. Like, the least amount of effort you could do to give all of these maps this own unique feel is basically just color rotate the sprites. Like, just put a color filter on top of it, and bam! Now this is the red area. Now this is the blue area. Hey, it feels like we're actually making progress. But no, that's too much. We can't do that. That's 10 seconds of work. We need to get all of these individual sprites out as good as possible, but none of it should actually serve the gameplay or the feeling of playing. It's so weird to have these issues. Like, this game, in a lot of ways, feels like it should be way ahead of the curve on these things, that it shouldn't have these issues, but it does. God knows why, but it does. Let's go here. Oh, fuck. No, I wanted to ring the goddamn bell. Jesus Christ. There. Fuck. Oh, I'll have to bring it again to bring these back. Now, bring it again to bring this one back. And I get... Find greater amounts of gold. Okay. Oh, that was that for that room. Okay. Nothing really of interest. I'll go there first. Oh, that's a boss. Shit. Ah, fuck. Why did I do that? That's the boss. We killed it. Fucking killed it. Actually, since it's not that far away, let's just go back for a second. Just go to this room up here. It's a shop. I guess I'll buy a shield. That's gonna be useful. And I'll immediately lose it on the next screen as I fuck up this. I know myself well enough. Wow, I didn't fuck it up. Nice. Alright, we got the space shell. The space shell is gonna give us the same stuff that every end of the map gives us, because that's how this game works. One more to go. Our compass is getting food. I really like this animation though. Like, I like all of the sprite work and animations. I just wish that stuff would stand out from the background more, especially the stage hazards. Like, there's no reason you can't visibly see a stage hazard immediately. Like, I get the idea of it being a trap, but at the same time, a trap still needs something visible, especially when it's randomly generated. Okay, so two of these are... No, wait, they're not identical. They're just not refreshing at the bottom of the screen. Cool. Battalion on board or Labyrinth Big Blast, Tenderizer. I'll go with Battalion on board. If it feels like this is going to be an overly long video, don't worry. I'll probably die soon in the second boss thing, because I only really want to go into it to show the map. Without a meal, there is no heal. Did I just get a stupid heal that's not gonna help me much in the rest of the run? That's great. Oh no! Oh wait, it is the only way to go. Shit, no, I actually have to be here. Bombshell. Pirate's Pep. 5 HP. That is nice. Get more bang from my bomb. Okay. Wow, I usually don't get this much stat up bullshit in my runs. This is a miracle. What's in here? You, die. Nope. Fuck. Why did I do that? Yeah, one of the problems with the visibility of stuff is that too much of the background is moving, or moving objects to immediately look like a threat. Like, that is the biggest issue with a lot of it. There's also a point to be made about the colorization of stuff, because all of it kind of looks like they're in the same color palette, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but stuff like this should pop out from the background, and it really doesn't. Oh, fuck. Why? Alright, what was that? Oh, for fuck's sake. What a great video game this is. This is a game that really just slowly eats away at you over time. Oh, there's nothing really here. Oh wait, that was a... Fuck. Not really an object that I need, just something I kind of wanted to point towards as an example of stuff melding into the black ground. Yes. Into the background. Totally. Go away. Nobody gives a shit about you. Yeah, it's kind of okay as like a side-scrolling shooter by itself. It's just that the format of being a roguelite with gauntlet rooms is just not right for this. Here's a good example of sprites just fading into the background. Like this just fades right into that crate. It's awful, and it's a shame. Like I feel this quality of sprite work deserves better than how it's being used. This room is great. I fucking love it. Oh, for fuck's sake. There we go. Now we've done it. Also, the song. I mean, I can't really call it music. It's one fucking song most of the time. It's pretty good. It would have been nice if they made more songs, but wishful thinking, I guess. Because like the format that it's like going after is very much, you know, the Binding of Isaac format. And the Binding of Isaac format, you know, you have very different floor layouts. The layouts are mostly the same, but everything feels distinct because there's a huge difference between like floor 1 and floor 3. Like they have completely different color schemes. They have different music. Everything about it feels fresh and different compared to what comes before it, which gives you a real sense of progression. Now, over here, this could be floor number 1 or ship number 1 or ship number 4. It doesn't really matter because they all look the exact same. They have the same music. They have the same enemies. Nothing about it really changes. And it gets worse when we get to the other map that there is, because they changed some of it, but then most of it is still the same. So it's like, why should I continue playing after I've beaten the first boss? Give me an actual reason. I'm not feeling like I'm seeing anything different here. And variation is something you desperately need for a game that is supposed to be replayed a lot. And variation is something that this game is missing to almost every degree. I wonder how much of that is that feeling of, look, we worked on these sprites really hard, we worked on this song really hard, please appreciate it as much as you can. And I can understand that, but there is a limit to that. Like, I cannot count how many times I've gone through Tower Climbs Chapter 2, Stage 1. Because, you know, I played that game a shit ton. But then at the same time, I was always looking forward to, well, what's in Stage 2? What's in Stage 3? Because it would be wildly different from everything before it. Whereas Flinthook, it's all the same. It really is all the same. Like, we're going to the final boss now. We've done almost a full run. And look, it's this background and it's this music again. Nothing has changed. Can you tell the frustration with this? Now, to be fair, this is actually a different map because we're going straight to the boss fight. And we don't actually fight the guy on the wanted poster so much as we fight the dumb animal there. And the dumb animal has that problem with the bubble that I was talking about. You're supposed to pop that bubble on his butt and then shoot it. And the reason that I'm not moving to the right is because there's health there. So my movement is immediately limited if I'm actually not a fucking idiot who gets hit in a corner like that. Which I am, so that's great. I don't feel like thought was put into putting this right here at the start. Alright, I am getting bored at this boss fight already. Ah, boy. Fuck's sake. Come here, you. Fuck off. Like, I can make it more interesting by zipping around like this, but that just puts me in the way of harm even more, as you see. No, I am going to shoot you now. You're not getting away. Come on. Come on. I need to kill one of you at least. Oh god, I am being backed into the corner again. Stop it. Oh, fuck's sake. I hate this so fucking much. There we go. That's one. Let's just pick up the health now, because we actually need it. Pick up the coins. Let's shoot him in the butt. I wanted to hook him the second time, but no, I had to go for the ring. Boy. Why am I playing this? What am I doing with my life? Playing Flinthook. Like, even the game that I've played here on this channel, under this series, Beyond Dead, that I dislike the most, Rogue Legacy, I don't hate to this degree. I guess the only other game that would come close is Enter the Gungeon, because that game is a piece of shit. That game is actually the real rough one. For actually a lot of the same reasons that this one is. Absolutely no understanding of balancing, no understanding of how to keep things interesting, absolutely no variation in gameplay beyond the first 10 minutes. Though this one actually has potential that has not been done by anyone else. Whereas Enter the Gungeon, you can just go, look, here's the Binding of Isaac. It's done. And that's the actual frustrating thing with this game. There's this potential that is constantly there in your face, and not much is done with it. There we go, that's that guy. Oh, fuck's sake, why am I doing this? Just playing this isn't fun, and I'm really frustrated, so I'm not playing well. I want to at least beat this guy, though. There we go. Probably have to kill him. Probably have to hit him, like, once. The only problem is I'm not allowed to be hit, like, more than once now. Get fucked. Fuck off. There! We beat the guy. We got the bounty. Like, that's the whole thing that we're doing, right? We're going for the bounty of this bad guy. So how do you claim a bounty on an evil space pirate? You just leave. And this guy captures this thing. It's Super Meat Boy now. And now we get the next bounty of the next guy. So the thing that I don't understand about this is, if we're a bounty hunter and we're hunting these bounties, why are we just blasting off and leaving them there? Shouldn't we just, you know, take them with us? Shouldn't we, like, I don't know, collect the fucking bounty that we're after? I don't know, maybe it's just me, maybe it's just crazy talk, but like this doesn't seem internally consistent with what we're supposed to be doing here. Oh great, we got more fucking loot boxes. Oh, booster packs. That's always the best way to do progression, isn't it? Let's go to the black market. We can get this thing, sub-weapon, more sub-weapons, which I tend to not use in games, in general. You get more money for beating things. Aim lock. That sounds awful. Oh, it's free. It's a toggle thing. Alright. Yeah, let's buy this. Let's buy this so we get more gold during our runs. What is this? The hardcore version of that fight. Okay. I can't afford that. Bumps your XP gain. Which is what a lot of these do. Like, a lot of these upgrades are just, hey, you get more EXP. So... Okay. An extra point, two extra points. So the cheaper one, it gives me 2. Okay. Yeah, let's go to this guy. Tick-tock. More slow motion. More range to my pistol. More damage to my pistol. More EXP. Let's see. More chances of a critical hit. Critical. More bang for my bomb. Variance bonus. Gives a shit. More damage. More speed. Plus 10 HP, plus 10 HP, plus 10 HP. Already shielded. No, I don't want that actually. Get a delicious apple every time you board a ship. Let's take that away and put that into firepower. Let's see. More damage. Just more damage consistently. That's nice. I'll take that. Alright, let's actually start. Library, food, gauntlet. Let's just go to where that library is, over here. So yeah, I'm not going to play this entire run because this video is already getting on the long side and I don't want to spend an hour on fucking Flinthook. But as you can see, now we have a new background and a new song. It's finally doing the things that I was requesting. 2 new songs even, different combat song, but the enemies are largely still the same things that we had before. There isn't much variation here. These guys are new, but they just fly in one direction and then they're gone, so there isn't much to that. But yeah, so that is one of the problems. It's kind of like the Binding of Isaac, if in the Binding of Isaac, instead of floor variations, like every 1 or 2 floors, you would get them after every mom fight. And I don't think that that is a good way to structure your game when the point is to replay it a whole bunch. Like, I get the intent, but at the same time, it's like, it would be better if you just spaced this out over the course of a run so it feels like every run has something, you know, has some sense of progression happening during it. And now it feels like the progression is so spread out, you might not even really notice it because you're just going to be stuck on the same thing the entire time. Plus, you know, with how I am, I want a roguelite that lets me beat the game from start to finish in one go without upgrades, without saving progression. Because otherwise, to me, it's not a roguelike, and it's not a roguelite. And that is where a lot of my feelings towards this game needing to just be an action platformer come from more, because, like, why is this a roguelite? Because you want a procedural generation so you didn't have to make stages yourself? Like, that is the feeling that I get from this game. Yeah, these are really, like, conclusion-type thoughts, because this game, the direction that the game is developed towards doesn't really fit the format that it's in, and the format doesn't fit the gameplay. That is the biggest problem of Flinthook. And it's a shame because there's clearly so much effort that has gone into chunks of this game, but none of them have been gone into thinking about how to handle the game design or how to handle the gameplay itself. And it's a shame to see all of this get wasted to that extent. Like, it's not like Dead Cells, which came out around the same time, which gave some serious thought about its progression system and how to handle itself as a Metroidvania roguelite. Like, that game actually did it very well. And then you have this game, and they just couldn't be bothered, I guess. Fuck's sake, go away. Wow, I used my slow-mo really well there. Yeah, this is pretty much Flinthook. What you just saw is the entire experience of playing Flinthook. It doesn't get better. It doesn't get worse either. This is just it. This is Flinthook, the entire game. So yeah, anyway, this was AboveUp. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I guess I will see ya.